When we came to Canada, we carried more than luggage. We carried dreams. But dreams don't always start the way we imagined, like Victor's. Victor is an immigrant from Nigeria and he's having troubles on how his permanent residency pathway in Canada will be. He always wanted to diversify into trades, but he has lots of doubts. Flipping through his laptop, he's looking at opportunities in skilled trades. He studied the IRCC system for a long time now, and he knows that it is one of the best pathway that can make him a permanent resident in his dream country. But he just doesn't know how to move forward.
You ever think about the trades program? They're hiring carpenters like crazy.
I can't even hold a torch. How should I do that?
Maybe it's time to learn.
It's time to learn. It's time to learn. It's time to learn. It's time to learn. It's time to learn.
And that's the start of
Skill Trade Podcast, your journey to Canadian PR.
Hello everyone, welcome to Hands on Pathway. I am Victor and this is we are Temin Pasha, a group of international students passionate on exploring Canada's skill trade, a kind of trade that keeps the country running.
Yep. So many of us went here to improve our career, but what we know is that career is found in laboratories or even in office spaces. But we didn't know that career can also be found in construction sites or other sites.
Exactly. The skilled trade careers such as HVAC, industrial electricians, and welders, they have a great job. It's not just a job, it's a solid career. They had good pay, stable pay rates. So international students like us don't even know about that. We heard a lot of rumors and just we settled with it.
Maybe it's the stigma, maybe it's this lack of awareness, but we are here to change your mind with our story. And in this episode, we are going to talk about it and tell you all about how skill trades can give you purpose in both life and in Canada.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. Grab a coffee and relax. We're gonna walk you down on how you're gonna use your hands and build a future you're gonna be proud of yourself. This is Hands on Pathway. Let's dive in.
Segment 1.
This is Katie. She is a laborer for current contractors at Imperial Oil and she has been in this trade for 8 years.
Welcome back to Skilled Trades Pathways. In this segment, we'll hear from someone who's been in the skilled trades industry for nearly a decade. Katie, a Canadian laborer with 8 years of working experience in the field, she's here to give us the inside scoop on what it really takes to start, stay, and succeed in the trade, especially for newcomers who are just getting started. So first, our question number 1. A lot of international students and immigrants aren't sure how to begin. From your experience, what is the first step for someone who wants to work in trades like yours?
So things have changed a lot since the time I got in. Now they have a 8-week pre-apprenticeship program where you do 8 weeks of schooling and then a contractor would sponsor you and you'd go do 8 weeks of work. And then they determine and you determine whether it's for you, whether you're cut out for it. And then from there, you get to start your apprenticeship journey. So when I started, my apprenticeship was, I worked 600 hours and then I did my first 8 weeks of school. And then I worked another 600 hours, did my second year apprenticeship schooling. And then after that, I was able to write my Red Seal. So now that gives me the opportunity to be able to work anywhere in Canada.
Okay, some people think you need a lot of experience before you can even get hired. Is it true?
No. So the Laborers Union offers a crazy amount of training. Like they offer even like extra things like concrete finishing and things that you normally don't do on a day-to-day basis. So they give you a lot of opportunities to learn everything through them. They've got a shop right on site there where you can actually practice with all of these tools and everything. So yeah, they've got a lot of training.
I see. So what skills or certifications help you stay employable over the years? Are there any training programs, safety tickets, or certificates that you would recommend to newcomers starting out?
So for anything to do with the plants, it's good to have your WMIS, your basic safety, and then obviously over time you get your experience and you write your red seal test. Where I work, I do a lot of maintenance work, so having a forklift license was always good for me.
Okay, for some newcomers, have professional experience back home, maybe as engineers, electricians, or builders, but they struggle to transfer their skills here. What advice would you give them to bridge that gap?
Build a social circle, like a good social circle. Get to know people that are in those industries, and they might be able to give you some advice on exactly how to merge your training with their training and what else you'd need to know on top of it.
I see. So next question: how can newcomers build connections or find their first job in skilled trades, especially if they don't yet have Canadian experience?
With our union hall, we do a lot of volunteer work. We have like the Labor Day parade, attending things like that, and even they give out like tickets for the hockey game and stuff like that. So it's a good way to get to know people and to get to really build these connections.
So finally, many listeners want to use their skilled trades job to apply for permanent residency through OINPS, skilled trade stream, or express entry. What's your advice to those who are just starting their journey here?
I would say get involved with the community and build those relationships, and also share what you are passionate about and the things that drive you to want to do these.
So you mentioned about Red Seal earlier. So can you give us a little brief background about it?
Yeah.
How to do stuff?
Of course. So when you start off in a union, you start off as a first-year apprentice, and then, like I said, you work those 600 hours. You do an 8-week training course, and then you do another 600 hours, and then you do your second-year apprentice. So once you get all of that training, they sign you up for the Red Seal, and this is all paid for by the government. So you go in and you have like a 4-hour block, and it's a multiple choice test. But yeah, so once you complete that, you're able to work anywhere in Canada.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. There is also different Red Seals for different trades. So the carpenters would have one, like the welders, the painters, they all have different Red Seal tests.
All right, before we wrap up, we're going to have a little fun with our guest. This segment is called Trade Talk Rapid Fire. I'll ask her 10 quick questions about life in the skilled trades, and she has to answer with the first thing that comes to her mind. No overthinking, just honest and real. Ready? Let's go. So question number 1. What's the first thing you do when you get to the job site? No thinking.
I make my way to the trailer and I put on my coveralls and then I wait for our morning meeting.
So for the next question, coffee or energy drink before work?
Always tea. Always tea.
Neither of those?
No.
Okay. What tool can you not live without?
That's a good one. I guess I'm going to say a shovel.
Okay, so next one. Hardest skill to learn in your trade?
For me, I would have to say finishing concrete. That was a tough one, and it's a lot of learning on the job. It's not something, you can read up on. It takes a lot of time and a lot of doing it over and over again to try and figure it out.
Mm-hmm. One trade myth you want to bust right now.
That it's a male-dominated.
There's
A lot of women in the workplace now, and it's great.
Yeah. Females in male-dominated jobs.
Yes.
Okay, so another one. Favorite part about working in the trades?
The different jobs that you get to do, the different things that you can learn on a day-to-day basis. It's not just the same old thing every day.
Mm-hmm.
You get a lot of experience in a lot of different jobs.
One thing you wish newcomers knew before joining in the industry.
The weather sucks. It can be really cold and really crappy. And that, I don't know, as much as it looks like, it takes a big toll on your body and everything,
Mm-hmm.
being a laborer, there's a lot of tools, there's a lot of help. You know what I mean? Like if there's something heavy, we got forklifts, we got other workers that can help out, and we can always ask.
Okay, that's great to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Listeners, you don't have to be strong. We got tools. Okay, so next question. What's the best advice you'd give to your younger self starting out?
That's a good one. I think there was always a fear joining the trades, that there might not be steady work, and there might not be, and there still is, I guess. But if you go there and you are willing to learn, there's a lot more opportunities.
Okay, so that's great to hear.
Mm-hmm.
If you could switch to another trade for a day, which one would you choose?
Also a good one. Maybe an equipment operator. I think it would be cool to run heavy equipment for a day.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is the last question. Finish the sentence. Being in the skilled trade means
learning something new. More often than I thought that I would. You're constantly learning new things about even how the plant works, and I don't know, learning new things, I guess.
Okay, that's it for today's questionnaire with me.
I think today's discussion with KD is really good because it's the perfect video for our audience, our immigrants who are female and who works in the trade sector. So as we all know, some of the most basic stigma that people have for those working in skilled trades is that it's just for men.
Males.
Yeah, right? So if you are an immigrant and you're a female and you work in the skilled trade sector, so I think this is an eye-opener for us since she has worked for nearly a decade already. So she's really an inspiration that we females can still take on that role, and we can still use that for advancing our citizenship here in Canada. So I think the last thing I want to point out is that skilled trades isn't just like going to the role. Like she mentioned, certifications such as Red Seal, number of hours that you need to complete before you take the certification. So I think just be mindful on those technicalities when you are undergoing the process. So, yep. Thank you, Nilam. Thank you for this segment. I really enjoyed it, and looking forward to the next segment of this podcast.
Segment 2.
This is Christian. He is a mechanic welder at Procore for 7 years.
Okay, so up next, we are diving into a story that shows the real pathway from becoming a newcomer to a Canadian permanent resident to Canadian citizenship through skilled trades. So we're gonna hear it from Christian, a welder who started as an immigrant and is now a Canadian resident, a Canadian citizen. So for our first question, let's start from the beginning. So how did your journey into welding begin? So was it something that you trained to before coming to Canada, or did you start fresh here?
For my that was first 2 months, I've started as well as like a labor or installer, something like that. And of course, like like for that 2 months, I'm trying as well to to look for something. And my wife as well, she's the one that trying to push me to be able to um, to apply what I'm doing back home, and to apply what I've studied back home. And then like after 2 months, I'm trying to yeah, like sending resume to that company, a welder company or a mechanic company that hiring people, tradespeople. And then I got and then got fortunate that one of the company, Procore Limited in Oakville, called me, yeah, for the trade test. Yeah, for the trade test, before they're going to getting me. And then like, yeah, fortunately that I passed the test. And then that's the then that's the time that I've started working with them. Yeah, but yeah, like for us, I'm just lucky that my wife, she's the one, she came her first. That's so that like we have a plan in between that 5 years. We have that plan, what we're going to do, stuff like that. And then like it's just easy for us. Yeah.
But once you started working,
Mhm.
what certifications that help you the most?
Mhm.
Like, did you need to have Red Seal certification, or are there required provincial trade licenses?
Alright. Yeah, so like I'm just lucky only in when I'm started in a Procore Limited, like the company, they're offering like an in-house training to get that certificates or a RIDSO ticket. So like when I started working with them, and then I'm pushing myself, my wife pushing me as well to get some training, study hard to get you qualified, to get you certified to do that job, and to to qualified as well for moving up for the for the higher position, for the higher level. Yeah, so yeah, I'm just fortunate that my companies, they're offering those in-house training for me to qualify to work with them as well, to become a certified welder mechanic.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
great. So they
yeah.
did not require you to have licenses, but
They require as well, but at first I started here as a for the like the lower level. And then after that, before getting my will, before becoming a certified welder to work with them, I have to undergo with that training, trade test, in-house training. And then I have to pass those training for me to get certified, like a Procore certified welder or mechanic.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
I see. So when they started like interviewing you for the position, did they require some years of experience before you can get through the job itself?
Yes. My company is requiring. It's a big company as well, so like uh, at least they needed, like you have to provide, you have to prove for them that you're qualified of that position that you're applying for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay, that's great. Okay.
yeah,
And
yeah. That's why
then,
like we have those you have those trade tests. Like you have to like we have an actual training that you have to do it, that actual training, and you have to pass it for them, for you to prove to them that
That you
you're
fit on the
qualified or
job.
you fit for that
Oh,
job.
okay, that's great.
Yeah.
So now, since you are a Canadian citizen already, so what advice
Mhm.
can you give to the newcomers who
Mhm.
dream of following your path
Mhm.
in the skilled trades sector?
I can say that just keep holding, never give up. And
So, do you think that these newcomers still need certifications in these times, or
yes, yes, yes,
it's a
yes.
need?
Especially like like if you're working on the trades, there's a lot of what do you call that? It's like a race that you
Mm-hmm.
have to be more qualified over them.
The competition is really
Competition, yeah,
tight.
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to be more qualified
Mm-hmm.
for you to you have to prove to the company, or you have to be impress them that,
Mm-hmm.
especially with your tickets and qualifications, stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mm-hmm. All
Yeah.
right. Now we're gonna play something that's called myth or fact.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna read a statement and you're gonna tell us if it's a myth or fact. So like fact means that it's true, myth means that it's not true.
Mhm.
So for example, first, welding is only for men.
That's math.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
like in my company, some of the women there start like start working as a welder as well. Like they start from the bottom, and the
Mm-hmm.
company they give them a chance. Like they start as a welder helper, and the company there give them a chance to improve their skill,
Mm-hmm.
or their welding skill, or the mechanical skill. And then once they think that they're able to um, to work as a welder,
Mm-hmm.
then the company give them an opportunity to like, okay, you can do your test if you want. So if you pass that test, then you will get certified. We're going to hire you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. And next, experience gained abroad doesn't count for applications. So you don't need to gain experience before applying in skilled trades.
You have to. For me, you have to.
Oh, okay.
I
You
mean,
have to.
once you work in the trades, you
Mm-hmm.
have to have an experience. It's really hard to work in a trades that you don't have
Mm-hmm.
nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really hard for the
Yeah.
competition. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. So next, immigrants have fewer chances of being sponsored by employers. Do you think these newcomers don't have that much chance to be sponsored by these employers?
I don't think about that. I think because like as long as you have that talent, you have that skill, I think the
Mm-hmm.
company will going to we're going to keep you, and
Yep.
I can say that they're going to help you as well, because like
Mm-hmm.
like for example, as an employer, if I got an immigrant worker that work with me, but I can see that immigrant that employee or immigrant employee that I got, once she got skilled talent that my company needed of it, I were not going to let that guy go.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I have to help him
Mm-hmm.
to become
Yeah.
like permanent resident or
Mm-hmm. That's right. They're
citizen.
gonna keep you for
Yeah.
that skill. Okay. So just a few questions. So, do you think WIMIS or working at heights kind of trainings can boost your success to be employed? Like working at heights
Mhm.
or WIMIS, those kinds of certificates or training. Do you think it can help?
Yeah, that can help, because like
Mm.
most of the company they're really looking into that,
Mm-hmm.
especially if you're a beginner and you're applying for the company.
Mm-hmm.
Trainings, they require trainings. At least you have certificate certified to work with them,
Mm-hmm.
and one of those like work if you have working on heights, you need some stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. All right. So that wraps up our questions. So from Christian here, we have learned that you really need a lot of experience,
Yeah.
certifications, and training. So applying skilled trades is really
Yeah.
not that
Yeah.
easy. You really
Yeah.
need to suit yourself up before applying so that you can get to the competition here in the field. So thank you again,
Yeah, that's great.
Christian, for this interview.
Yeah.
Segment 3.
This is Jekyll. He is a drafting technician and he works in Kelgore for 1.5 years.
So now we will be interviewing Jeko, and he is currently a CAD or drafting technician in Kelgore, and he has been in this company for 1.5 years. But actually, in Singapore, he is already how many years is that?
I've worked as a piping designer for almost 4 years in
4
Singapore.
years. Oh, okay. That's right. So now let's dig into our questions. So let's start with your background. So how did your journey into piping design begin? So did you study mechanical or industrial engineering before? So how did you move into this career in Canada?
So way back in the Philippines, I took up Bachelor's of Science in Mechanical Engineering, and then with my first job, I was hired as a piping designer, and then move up to become piping engineer.
So when you first came to Canada, one of the biggest challenges you faced in finding your job here as a piping design engineer?
Um, hmm, yeah. When I came here in Canada, I started as like labor workforce, and then after I got laid off, I worked with Tim Hortons as a crew member, and then luckily I saw some posting from different companies looking for a drafter, piping drafter specifically, and then just tried my luck, and luckily I got hired with Kilgore.
Oh, so in that case, what are the kinds of skills or maybe certificates that help you to stand out and get this job from Kilgore?
Actually, for in Ontario, being a drafter doesn't isn't required to have a certificate, or like it not like an engineer profession, but having having more experience and having different fields of expertise would give you a better option for the job.
Oh, I see. So they're not looking into certificates, but they're
No.
looking at the number of years.
Yeah. Yes, and also your field of expertise and experiences.
Okay, that's right. So, networking can make a big difference in engineering careers. So, do you think professional association, LinkedIn connections, or mentorships can help you find these kinds of jobs?
Yes, I think that gives you a better edge, and having people around that can fast forward your connections and bring you to the best people or the people that could help you land a job and give you better opportunities for your career progression is a better option. So I think like me, I've joined many. There was one time last, I think before the winter, there was a um, Lambton County professional. I think I forgot the name, but that is like an open meetup with the newcomers here in Sarnia and the existing professionals here in Sarnia.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so I was teamed up with Enbridge engineers and a few consultant owners, and I was able to talk with them about how ask them about how can I progress my skills here, and they've given me a good idea of like if I'm gonna proceed to become a professional engineer here in Canada, or I could start first at the bottom, like right now being as a drafter, and then
Mhm.
move my way up into the
Mm.
positions.
Okay. So speaking of PR applications, have you started envisioning on what pathway you will apply to, or what's your target for that?
Um, um, I think when we came here with my wife, so my wife was a student of Lambton College, so we were at first our thoughts were, um, we erased the idea of becoming an engineer here or pursuing into engineering degree because we don't know yet the environment that we'll be having here when we came here into Canada. But our initial plan was to have my wife process with PR application as she will be going through the student pathway.
Mm-hmm.
But luckily, we've got an invitation from OINP, um, through me because I'm in the
Oh,
trades.
okay, really? That's
Yes.
nice to hear. I'm shocked.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
under the trades profession,
Ah,
foreign worker trades
mhm.
profession. So, um, it was a very lucky break for me,
Wow.
and so that's the pathway that we are hoping to pursue right now, and hopefully pray for the best.
Mhm. That's a good thing to note. So, what do you call the pathway?
I think it's the ready
Oh,
pilot.
ready. Okay,
Yes.
yeah, the pilot. Okay.
REDI pilot.
Mm-hmm. So, what kinds did you? Is it just DIY? Did you prepare all the documents yourself? Did you go to a consultant or something?
We did DIY, but my wife was very studious about the pathway that we will be taking, and
Mhm.
she was very strategic with our decisions that we'll have to make because it will greatly affect our stay here in Canada. Since for the last I think for the last 2 years there were so many changes with the IRCC,
Yeah, that's right.
with the IRCC requirements. So we it's a must for us to be very flexible and very strategic with our plans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. So, what kind of NOC or tier is your current job?
I think it belongs to tier 2,
Mm-hmm.
so under STEM.
Under STEM. Okay,
Yes.
that's great to note. Mm-hmm.
So I think it's NOC 2212.
Mm-hmm.
So to be exact.
Mm-hmm. So, like after you have drawn by OINP, you get additional points to qualify for CEC, right? So after that being drawn, what is your next step for the PR application?
Um, I think um, right now our level is we have submitted our documents to the OINP um, OINP application. So after that, they will be evaluating our documents, and I think the next step would be to receive an the next step is to receive the I forgot the the term. We'll be receiving a notice from
An
from
invitation, maybe?
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
okay, okay.
to be exact, an invitation. So right now, that's what we are waiting for,
Mm-hmm.
and I think the next process will that is to for the Ontario immigration to proceed.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we are hoping for.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, we are still looking for other pathways
Other.
because
Mm-hmm.
we cannot be sure if
Yep.
this pathway will lead us to become permanent residents here.
Mm-hmm.
But we are positive, and we are positive and prayerful for the for proceeding with these
Mhm.
applications.
Okay, so that wraps up our question. So we had a very fruitful discussion with Jeco here because they are newcomers in Canada like us. And well, in fact, they arrived 1 year earlier than us. And his wife is actually a PMLS student, same as ours. So it gives us a hope that the students are not just the primary PR applicants, but it could be the open work permit holders as well. So I think it gives us the light that skilled trades can also give a good path to PR. So thank you, Jeco, for your
Thank you.
expertise, and stay tuned.
And that brings us to the very end of our episode. I hope you enjoyed every bit about the episode and you took some ideas about how trades works in Canada. And also know that this is not just a work, this is a skill that can help you build a good career in Canada.
That's correct. So most of us here don't know the essence of skilled trade workers, right? So who's gonna take care of our kitchen? Who's gonna take care of the laundry when something's broken? So based on this episode, we know that skilled trade workers really play a part in Canada's economy and in Canada's backbone. So try to look outside and see that there's a lot of construction buildings ongoing. So who's gonna make our favorite Wendy's building, for example? So in that case, we know that these skilled workers are very much important to be part of Canada's economy.
Absolutely. Program like Federal Skilled Nominee, Provisional Nominee Program can also help hardworking skilled workers to have the best life in Canada. That is to gain permanent residency through the PR route, which most of them are not also aware of this. So having a federal skill trade can also make you have a permanent residence in Canada. And not just that, hand skills also make you to build your homes, build a future you've always dreamt of. And also those mechanics you feel, the cars and every other things, those things works every day. So we also need skill trades to maintain the cars, the building, the construction. You can mention them, electronics, something like plumbing, sometimes both in the houses. And these are things that also build a good future for everyone. And these are things that most of us are neglecting. These are ideas we can bring out. So we thought of bringing out this to everyone and saying that having a hardworking skill like this can also give you a pathway to PR.
And just to add, a lot of us think that being in the healthcare can guarantee fast PR, but this podcast made us aware that it's also possible for you to get your permanent residency in just a few steps while you're in skilled trades pathway. So that concludes our podcast for today, and we hope that you appreciate the rest of our discussions because, after all, Team Impartial has been working to make this a safe space for you to learn and for you to discover what can you do in your skilled trades career for you to be a permanent resident of Canada. Thank you and stay tuned for the rest of our episodes as we bring more experts and more people in this field. This saves you the consultancy fee that you're paying for thousands of dollars. So thank you everyone and see you again.
Every skill, every hard work, every process. Skilled trades can bring us closer to our Canadian dreams.
Every skill we learn shapes more than metal. They shaped our confidence. The trade aren't just backup plans, they are the backbone of the country. I used to chase titles, now I build them. From student to skilled professional, this is our story.